You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the deep and unknown, exciting ocean of the creative mind, together with Matt Diener. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Matt Diener is the grandson of Tommy O Connel, who grew up in what is now O'Sullivan's shop in the main street in Skibbereen. He died in 1935 already, long time ago. And Matt is a musician. He used to live in Ohio, now in Vermont, where he used to study, and he finished his studying and is now makes his money with computer science. And we had in the first part, very interesting part, a chat about how you can combine making music and how computer science influences music making and the art of programming as well, and the aesthetics behind that, which is probably a subject where we could talk as well hours about it. But I think first of all, I'm gonna get it back to the main thing that was Matt. He grew up in Ohio, and I'm always interested in the upgrowing, the inspirations of people, how they're getting then creative, how did they get supported by the parents, or maybe influenced more by friends, and how is it if you live in a smaller place with 40,000 people, if you grow up and if you have quirky ideas, because what I know, for instance, I know people here in Golin, if you're creative and intelligent, you are lost. People taking the piss out of you, and I know already some people they became big alcoholics, and so yeah. So I would say so you made it very well. That shows that it was not too bad growing up in what was the name of the town in Ohio?
It's the town of Hudson, Ohio. Very quaint town, close to Cleveland and Akron.
Yeah. Known
for its clock tower, central.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Architectural figure.
All right.
And it was all right there. Yeah. I started playing when I was 10. And I was taking lessons at the local music shop in town. And I honestly don't remember exactly what inspired me to want to start playing, but I'm pretty sure I heard some like Jimi Hendrix or something, like, I heard some rock and roll music. I know I had my little iPod.
Was 10 or what?
When I was 10?
Yeah.
A precocious young lad, quite anxious.
Yeah. That's true.
Very timid.
Yeah. That's true.
And starting playing guitar was a good pursuit for me, but I remember I didn't really like practicing too much, and I wasn't.
I know that. Look, I know exactly where you're coming from, because as I had to learn more the guitar licks, I stopped it for a while, because my teacher, he said, okay, for every pattern what you can't name, you pay me €1, because I didn't have to pay for the lessons, you know? So I stopped it for a couple of years, and on a later stage, I said, how can I learn better guitar playing? And I did it actually was my perfect, my favorite songs like Hotel California and all that, you know. So I was learning the lyrics actually quite late. I've learned it very much better as I bought my first Ovation. That was already in the late 20s, because as I used to in my bands, I was more the singer and songwriter and not a guitar player, you know. So I've learned in Panama and Costa Rica was playing the guitar far much better, because I had my songbook with me and I was playing all my favorite songs.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
I had the time for 3 months. Yeah, that was great. So every day I was playing as well with people from San Blas, you know, with the Indians, and the Indians were playing their favorite songs, and I was playing my favorite songs. It was a great time. So.
I've never been. I've been to South America. I've only been to Colombia.
All right.
And I had a lovely time there. Although I didn't play any music there, but
no. When was it?
It was for one of my spring breaks while I was at school. I went with some friends because I had recently studied abroad in Spain, and so at that point I was a fluent Spanish speaker, and so
honestly,
yes.
Wow.
And so it was great to be there and just to be able to speak with people.
I can imagine that.
And understand people. And yeah, I was in Medellin and Bogota.
Did you book it or did you just travel?
Yeah, we booked to stay in Medellin, I think. And then for Bogota, we found a hostel to stay at. And it was amazing. We just met all kinds of people.
It's far more better. I mean, I was just on my own with my guitar, you know. I mean, it was quite dangerous, but it was quite cool as well. So, I mean, this is another story. I'm not starting with that now. But
yeah, there's some stories, from that trip.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
that I won't tell. Yeah. I better not tell them.
No, better not. Yeah. No. Did you get robbed? I mean, they robbed me in San Jose in Costa Rica, actually.
Oh, no run-ins with criminals, but one run-in with the police was a little troublesome for our party, but
I can imagine that.
But it was pretty scary. Yeah, well, I don't know. Luckily, we had a lovely Colombian girl with us who talked to the police and persuaded them to just let us go and and not worry about any. Of course, I hadn't committed any crimes, but
no, of course
I hadn't done anything wrong.
No,
but,
you'll never do anything wrong. I know that is. that's not
so we were lucky. Yeah, we were lucky. That would have really put a damper on the rest of our trip, but it all worked out. So.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's fly back from Colombia back to your little place in Ohio. Now I was wondering. Can you remember when you bought maybe your first record, or when you became really interested in music? And I mean not I don't mean children's songs. I mean really say the top tens, or like you say Jimi Hendrix, all that. I mean I bought my first single I bought was 8 years, and that was Mikel Rios, A Song of Joy. And then T-Rex and all that, you know. I started as well quite early, with 8, 9, you know. So but when it came to things like Jimi Hendrix or Led Zeppelin, also I was probably already 13, 14, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess I started singing from a very young age.
Yeah.
And that kind of culminated in my first grade talent show performance. I got up there and sang Born to be Wild by Steppenwolf. And so there's a pretty funny video of me at only like, I don't know, what age are you, in 6th grade?
Did you put it online?
No, I haven't. I don't know if I want everyone to be.
Please do. I mean, I put it in my description, honestly.
All right, I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll have to retrieve it. Yeah. I know my parents still have it. So
They do. I mean, even if you just if you just film it with your smartphone, when it's probably is it a video or is it a
it is a video.
so
Yeah.
so you could film it from the screen or maybe if you have a device you can already copy it on
Oh yeah, no, I'll be able to upload it, but that would have been when I was about 6 or 7 years old.
So you perform. That's interesting. I remember I was performing as well in my school. With 6, 7, 8, or 9 years. I was 9. I was already 9 or 10, and I was performing Alice Cooper's Schools Out.
Wow, yeah. No, it really is the greatest feeling in the world, performing for me. I don't know, and stage fright was something I definitely had to get over, but the fact that I am so timid and so shy, it makes the joy of putting myself out there and performing for people like 1,000 times better. And so I don't know, really, that's what's most important to me of all about playing music, is just getting the chance to perform for people.
Yeah, that's. I'm actually. I mean, I love it as well, but I must say, as I was young, then I mean, you mentioned it as well, that the self-esteem comes often quite late, isn't it? I mean.
Yeah, to feel comfortable performing, you mean, or to self-esteem, like.
Yeah.
I definitely. Well, I had my first band in high school, right? So when I was like 15 or 16.
I missed that. Yes.
And so, for that band, that was when I really learned how to perform and how to not be afraid. Or that was when I first started to. I don't know, because there was this one show that we would do once a year where we would compete in the Battle of the Bands, basically, for the local area. And that would be the biggest show that we would get to play. And the first time that we did that, I remember for like a month in advance or for weeks in advance, I would go to sleep and I would dream about the show.
Yeah.
And I would be so scared, and I would wake up and I would be thinking about it, and building up to it. I was so frightened and worried about it. And when the time finally came and I was up on stage, I was so scared and I was shaking and I couldn't remember the words to the very first song.
I know that.
And so I looked over to the bass player and I was like, how does the song start? Because I knew if I could just get going, then it would be okay. But I didn't even, I was like in total blackout mode at that point.
So how old have you been there? What was it? What was your age?
Probably 15.
Okay, you see, I had this experience.
Or 16.
I had this experience with probably 23, because we had a band, and it was actually my first proper band. I mean, a proper band. Everyone was far more advanced than myself. And then we got a phone call from another friend who was really a very professional bass player, and he said, "Hey, look, we're gonna play tonight in Luxor, which is a big club, and the singer of our support band is getting sick, and we don't have a support band. Do you guys want to play tonight?" And we just had maybe 6 songs, and we didn't rehearse proper, and everyone said, "Yeah, let's play." I said, "Oh God." So I had to play, so I couldn't step back, So 3 days later, so we had 3 days to rehearse, and then we played, and I forgot eventually my last song to play as well, because we were playing in front of 200 people, And so instead 30 minutes, we just played 25 minutes, and I was so nervous. But it was a great experience. So
it's fun. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. Remembering all those lyrics, I'm always like. That's what I'm trying to focus on most when I'm.
How is it for you? If you write songs, the last time as I wrote proper songs for performance, it was always difficult for me to remember lyrics. I'm not very good in keeping them in my mind. So is it difficult for you?
I just try to take some time to work on it, as long as I consciously make sure I have them memorized. But if I was going into the gig, there's always moments where I'm going into a performance and I know there's one song that's like 50-50 if I'm gonna mess up the lyrics or not. And so I don't know. I try to just be ready to survive and improvise in the moment. Like, okay, I messed up the words at this part, but that doesn't mean the song is over. Like, I have to keep going somehow, and these people are paying to see it. So,
oh God, yeah.
I just try to do my best. Yeah.
I'm convinced. No, I'm convinced that the people are happy. I mean, we are only human. That's great, Matt. That's quite cool. I would say we're gonna play now in the second part. We used to play in the first part already a song which was not written by Matt, but this song is written by Matt, and we're gonna play. The name is Smirk, and that's probably so inspired by a gig where Matt forgot to sing the lyrics and.
Yeah, that's why this song has no lyrics at all. I make sure I only have to remember the music.
and you just smirk when you're on stage. That's good as well. We have the big sip, and now we have to smirk. We have to smirk. It's cool. I love it. I must say, okay, let's first of all let's listen to Smirk. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you.
That was Smirk by Matt Diener. Is it Matt Diener or Matt Diener?
Diener.
Matt,
Correct.
Matt Diener. Smirk by Matt Diener. It's a great song. I really like it, and I must say, it for me it's somehow the instrumental version from Paranoid Android.
Yeah, definitely. That the last section of the song is very much inspired by bands like Radiohead and Muse as well, that I was a huge fan of.
Okay.
When I was younger.
Me too.
And in both those bands, I don't know, the vocalist will sometimes do, there's certain songs like Muscle Museum for Muse or Paranoid Android for Radiohead, where there will be kind of a vocal solo that's affected. It's almost like the vocals become a guitar, and it's a lead solo in that way. And there's, I don't know, there's also just a lot of music with kind of wordless singing to accompany it, and that's something I've always thought is very interesting and emotionally expressive as well. And I just, when I'm writing a melody, I often am singing and playing on the guitar at the same time, and so that was something I wanted to show with this. You know, as I've worked on my ear more and more, it's become that I know what every note I'm going to play on the guitar is going to sound like before I play it. And so in that way, I try to make sure I'm always singing while I play, so that I'll be singing through my guitar in that way to speak to the audience more directly.
It's very nice. I mean,
express myself.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, it's as well. Who lost? I mean, a lot of jazz musicians gonna do that, isn't it? I mean, George Benson.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So sorry.
Yeah, I do that same thing. No, I do the same thing. Yeah. I mean, obviously not nearly as well as him, but
yeah, well, he's great. Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool. I mean, and I like it as well how you guys combine traditional jazz music with really new ideas. So that's cool. So great. I would say we are almost finished the second part of this show. It was great to have you in. Do you want to add something at the end as well?
I don't know. I guess it would be the same as my message on the last episode. Just thanks to everyone for listening, and feel free to reach out to me on social media if you have any feedback really on the album. Just let me know which song was your favorite, or
that would
if there was anything that spoke to you. You know, and also I'm taking on guitar students if anyone is interested in some Zoom lessons.
Hey, that sounds great. A Zoom lesson, a guitar lesson with Matt Diener. That sounds perfect. I would say thank you very much, Matt. You can find them on Instagram on Big Sipstagram, at
that's right,
at Big Sipstagram, and you can find Matt is now as well in the Hall of ArTEEtude on a Mac, which you can find on ArTEEtude.com. ArTEEtude.com is my merchandising hell, where I have a lot of other stuff on it, and you can find myself as well on Instagram at Detlef Schlich, or Instagram at ArTEEtude, or Instagram at I Love West Cork Artists, where Matt will be a member as well, and you can join the I Love West Cork Artists group as well and become a member and just share your artwork on this page on Facebook. You know? Hey, thank you very much. We will hear us in the third part. This will be the Christmas edition, and we are gonna play 2 songs of the Big Sip. So, guys, take care. Bye. Bye, Matt.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion, and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.